Hello everybody. If you're new to my channel, my name is Kiri and this is Built on the Rock Homestead. Thanks for watching. One thing about having a YouTube channel is it's fun to show all the accomplishments, all the things, all the fun things, the animals. But when life is tough, that can be kind of hard. I mean, I don't want to come across like I'm begging, pleading for help or whatever. But the fact is, this has been a crummy year. A really crummy year. We all know what's going on in the world with that virus. But a lot of us have other issues that have nothing to do with that, and I'm one of those people. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know some of the things I've been dealing with. Well, I haven't shared anything that I've been dealing with for the past month. But after a lot of thinking, I decided I really needed to share because it's part of the reality of living out in the boonies. And if you're thinking of living out in the boonies, you need to be prepared that things can go wrong. And yeah, lately things have been going wrong for me. The first thing is a little over a month, probably a month or two, I don't know. I really haven't been keeping track of time. I ran out of propane, so I ordered more. They came and put some propane in my tank, and my stove didn't work. Guy came back, couldn't find it. He said, it's my stove. He said, the propane is getting to the house. Well, I don't have money to buy a new stove, and I don't know what's wrong. And this stove is probably, the house is a 2005, so I'm guessing the stove is 15 years. And it was this was a $1,000 stove. When I first moved here, I looked at stoves that were similar at Lowe's Hardware, and they were going for about $1,000. So it's an expensive stove. And I don't know if I can order a part and get it fixed, or I have to buy a whole new stove. But I don't have the money, period. I have no money. The money I used for selling the goats and stuff, I used it for other issues that I had to take care of. Didn't have much of a choice. And so I've just been cooking outside. And it hasn't been bad. I mean, yeah, when it's raining, it's the pits. I do have a pressure cooker and a crock pot inside. I can do a teeny bit, but anything that needs heat like this, I'm making fajitas right now. Got to do it out here. So I've been cooking a lot out here. This morning it was drizzly. It had rained this morning. Tropical storm Beta, I think, hit Texas today. And I had the one line of showers that came through was one of the very outmost band. And it was just this drizzly rain. And I managed to get breakfast made between periods where I know it had rained before I woke up. I got 1/100 of an inch. Haven't checked to see what as soon as I was done cooking, it started sprinkling again, misty rain. Got inside. I mean, it was great timing. But I've been dealing with that. And yeah, I've done a lot of solar cooking. Saturday, it was off and on cloudy and sunny, and I managed to get a cake baked in the sun oven. So that was good. But I've just been coping. I'm not sure what I'm going to do when winter comes, because the way things are going, it's already getting cool. Yesterday it was in the low 50s when I was out here. So it will be challenging, but I'll make do. I mean, you've got to find a way. When things go bad, you've got to find a way to survive and to make the best of it. I happen to have a Hunter's stove, and I've been using that. I've once had to go and get a new tank of propane for it. And I probably should stir everything up. But it's been working out, pretty good. I've been able to bake some in the sun oven when it's sunny. I've been able to work, make things out here. I've even cooked in the dark with my flashlight. You've got to come up with a way to survive and to make things functional. You just got to do it. I've done a bunch of cooking in my pressure cooker. It's not an Instant Pot, but it is a pressure cooker. And I've made potatoes and chicken and rice and all sorts of things in there. I have a crock pot, which I've been using for other purposes. So I've been making do. I've been surviving. I've been making do. Challenging, but I've been making do. Well, a few weeks ago, and I'm really not sure what happened, but keep in mind I have no money. Barely, just enough to pay my bills and feed the animals and stuff. So I think it might have been the first night we had a severe thunderstorm after several months of no rain at all. And there was a pretty close nearby lightning strike. I'm not sure how close. I mean, I've heard louder ones. There's been ones much closer, but it was pretty close. And I have had my well break after a lightning strike and power outage once. But that night, I just had a 1 second power out or 2 second power outage. The lights came right back on. Clearly there was an interruption in the electricity, but it came back on. So I don't know if that was the cause or something else. My well pump is past the age that it would last. The average lifespan was a few years ago. So I have to be prepared that the problem could run over $1,000 to get. If it's the pump, my well is 420 feet deep. So if it's the pump, it's going to be very pricey. Well, the problem is I don't even have the money to call a guy out. This is the second time this year, late spring, early summer, I forget now when, the well broke and they were out here. And so, to have your well go bad twice in just a few months apart is pretty frustrating, but nothing I can do about it. So I have to make the best of it. Now, thankfully, I have a lot of containers for catching rainwater. And in fact, I just got a bunch more of those old pots that minerals and stuff came in, licks for cattle or whatever. I got a bunch of free ones and I've just lined them up around the house to catch rainwater. So as long as we keep getting rain, I'll keep having at least rainwater, which I can use for cooking, washing the dishes, flushing the toilet with, taking sponge baths, etc. I have been able to take a shower at a friend's house a couple times. She's washed my clothes once. She's got an awfully big washer, so I passed this Saturday, but in a few days I'll probably have to have clothes washed. But I'm making do. I'm hauling in water every day. I'm hauling water out to the goats' troughs to fill them up, and to the chicken water for the chickens and stuff. I'm making do. Yeah, I'd really like to be able to turn the faucet on and wash my hands, but I've got a system. Basically, I take rainwater, haul it in to the kitchen, use that to wash the dishes with, and after that, haul it into the bathroom to use it to wash my hands after I go. Just dunk my hands in the bucket after, well, you can get your hands wet and then soap it up and rinse again and then use it to flush the toilet. I've got a system going. And you might think, well, you should wash dishes with hot water. You know what works? Works really good. Fill the crock pot with water, turn it on in an hour. That water is hot. It is hot. I usually leave it on an hour, 2 hours. I'll turn it on, do other things, and then, milk goats, do whatever. I've got the crock pot on right now. I'm sure that water is hot. And then I add, I take a measuring cup and I, spoon it into the sink and add some cold rainwater, add some soap, wash the dishes. I have another bucket with some cold water in to rinse. Put it in the dish drainer. Works really good. I've been washing all my dishes that way. So there's ways to cope. If you don't have a working stove in your house, if you don't have running water in your house, there is ways to cope. I have no idea. Right now I'm literally on disability from previous illnesses. The only other job I have is watching the nursery, and the most I can get is $25 a week. So I'm not sure how I'm going to take care of this. No idea. But I have prayed for over a year. I have prayed off and on, and I am convinced that I am supposed to stay here, that I'm not supposed to sell. I'm not supposed to run away. God brought me here. I'm pretty confident of that. So I'm just sticking it out. And instead of, I could be, oh, poor me, look at what I'm going through, I need to be rescued, blah, blah, blah. What's that going to do? Make me depressed? Because nobody has rescued? I haven't received $1 million in the mail. I don't expect it either. But I could sit there and just, poor pitiful me and mope and everything. Or I could make it a challenge. And I've made it a challenge. Trying to find ways just to keep going. Just to keep functioning. And as long as it keeps raining, all these rain buckets, and they're everywhere. I'm getting rain off the roof. I'm getting rain off of others. Like the goat shelter, it was already set up that it would rain into the rain that hits the goat shelter would pour off the roof into a stock tank. So the goats have water. But as long as it rains, I will have water. If it stops raining, I'll have to start thinking of other things. The neighbor who let me shower, I just take the 1 gallon container, when you go to the grocery store and you buy the 1 gallon container of spring water, when they're empty, I just take them and fill them up at her place. So I have good, safe drinking water. But I just wanted to share the challenges I've been facing right now. And there's a bunch of others that I'm not going to go into, but those are the two biggies. And, I'm having money problems, but I'm going to keep going. And somehow it will be, solved. I don't know yet, but I'm just plugging away. Somehow it will be resolved. But also I wanted to share, because somebody else may be, tomorrow somebody else may wake up and their well isn't working, which is what happened to me. The lightning strike was in the evening, and then morning I had no water. The tank was empty. So if you're going through that, if your stove suddenly breaks, if other things have happened and these are some of the ideas that have been working for me. Maybe you can take those. Maybe you have others that you can share in the comments of how you coped when you went through this, or if you're going through something similar, how you're coping. You can share in the comments. I would really appreciate that. We can all help each other. And so I just wanted to share that with you and hope it helps somebody out there who is either facing similar problems or in the very near future could be facing similar problems. And thanks for listening to me, and you have a wonderful day.